Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Contributing sponsors include Akron Children's Hospital, Bryant Heating and Cooling, and the Spaghetti Warehouse. Now here's your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Zips Basketball Weekly with head coach John Groce, brought to you all season long by the Wentz Financial Group. Well, another great week for the Zips. 2 more wins. They're now 10-3 overall and 8-2 in the Mid-American Conference, but things get a lot tougher this week. Tuesday night at Toledo, Friday night up at Kent State for a nationally televised game with the Golden Flashes. But the one thing I've noticed, Coach, you've won 6 in a row right now. You've got great depth in this basketball team. I hate to say that. I hate to call them the next group, the next 5, but you can bring guys off the bench. You don't lose a lot.
No, we don't. I thought yesterday our bench was absolutely terrific, scoring 44 points in the game. I thought it was, the determining factor, quite honestly. I thought our bench really played at a high level. They've been getting better, and we don't look at it that way. It's interesting. For us, we've got a 10, 11-man rotation every night. Everybody has a role to play in it. We ask them to be an NBA All-Star in their role. Guys are starting to buy into that and starting to develop some comfortability in those roles. There's a little bit more chemistry, obviously, now, having completed Game 13 versus where we were when we started. Some of that's happened through practice as well. So I'm excited. We've talked about strength in numbers, right?
You got it.
And, we're starting to head in that direction, and you're really starting to see it out there.
Seems like every game somebody new comes off the bench and does a great job. We saw Michael Dawson up at Western Michigan. We saw Michael Wynn come in and play great basketball, something different, which is great for you.
Oh, it's great. Mike and Mike, we call them. They're doing a great job. Those 2 guys were terrific in the Ball State game. Again, they were a big part of that 44 points, but we got contributions from a lot of guys. I think Reese may be playing as high a level as he's played when you consider both ends of the floor, and then rebounding as well here in the last 2 or 3 also. His energy level, think about the charge he took at Western Michigan that changed the momentum of the game. So he's really improving. We just need to get him to continue to play hard and physical without fouling, so that we can actually play him maybe even a little bit more. But he's one of those guys that's been coming off the bench. It's doing a great job for us also. Tribble and Clark, man, they give us a jolt, especially defensively. So we're getting better. We're heading in the right direction.
As we said, the Zips are riding a 6-game winning streak. Let's go back to this past Tuesday night. Eastern Michigan came to town, and Coach, when you see the Eagles, you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah, 2-3 zone, obviously. And, our guys were wired to play this one. They took us to the woodshed in Game 1 up in Ypsilanti. Did not play well. It's our one, what I consider clunker. We just didn't play well. And give Eastern Michigan credit, in Game 1 they did. So our guys were excited, inspired, anxious to play them in Game 2. I thought our execution against the zone, our ball movement, 22 assists, Joe, on 33 field goals. Unbelievable ball movement. And then we defensively impacted them as well. Thought we had great energy at that end and played really a fairly complete game.
We're going to see Akron take their first lead of the game there on a 3-pointer by Brian Trimble. 7:03 left in the first half, tied at 24-24, Coach. So looked like Eastern came out with a lot of energy, too. They scored a lot of points early.
They did, and we had some lapses, a couple things defensively, and then we got that cleaned up, and then we missed some shots as well. Once we got going, though, we got going in transition. Our ball movement against the zone was terrific. There you see Christian Jackson on inside-out action to Brian Trimble, and I just thought we really played well together.
Did a lot of good things going inside against that zone. Some good things done on the block, so that's something different.
We did. We got it to the high post, and we got it to the low post area, which you're alluding to, and behind the backboard as well, into some sweet spot areas against the zone that allowed us to attack. And I thought our board effort was great. We had great force on the backboard, especially in the first half, where we came up with 8 offensive rebounds.
You went on an 18-2 run, Coach, I think, to close out the first half, really playing great basketball.
We were, and then Trimble made shots, obviously, to end the first half, start the second half. You see that one there. He's such an elite-level shot maker. Here you see us getting out in transition before the zone could get set. And, we started to get some distance there and eventually got the lead, I think, up to 30.
You're right.
And so we really played well. I thought we were pretty consistent throughout.
You talk about great effort, Coach. I think the score was 61-33. There's a loose ball on the floor. Everybody knows we're going to win this game, but Michael Dawson's on the floor trying to get that basketball.
Yeah, that's how he plays.
Yeah.
You know, he and Tribb and Garvin and Jermaine and those guys, that's how they play. I mean, they impact the game. That's a skill. I tell guys, no different than shooting, passing, and dribbling. You know, effort, motor, physicality, those things are skills every bit as much so. So those guys bring those things every day.
Yeah, excuse me, Coach. You did take a timeout with about 8 minutes left. I think you saw some things you didn't like, and after your team came back out on the floor, you go on an 8-0 run.
Yeah, we obviously were going with our strength and numbers deal. We made this had the timeout there to sub, but then also to get back to playing Akron basketball. I thought we got a little loose with the ball, and then defensively we weren't quite as stingy.
4 players in double figures for the Zips. Macey Daley with 14, Ali with 13, Trimble with 12, and Ricky Freeman with 10. So good spread out scoring.
No question about it, and it's been that way for us. If you really look over the 6 games, you'll see a trend where, hey, Ali may get 14 in one game, and then the next game he's in single digits,
Yeah.
but Mike Dawson or Mike wins in double figures.
Sure.
You know, so it really gives us a lot of balance. We've got a lot of weapons out there and a lot of ways in which we can score.
Well, a big win against Eastern Michigan. When we come back, we're going to have a feature on Macey Daley. A lot of big-time recruits have come in and transfers. We're going to feature one each week now for the next 3 weeks. So don't go away. We're back with more right after this.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
This is my back before surgery, and then this was it after. These things are in my back right now, helping keep it straight so I get to go back to dance with my friends.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, Chloe. From my perspective, there is nothing that I wouldn't let you do. Really, all the credit for how well you're doing is just you and how hard you've worked to get back to where you are. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Basketball Weekly. As we said, we're going to feature one of the many transfers and from Power 5 conferences, Coach. Macey Daley's a guy that played at Iowa and at Beechwood High School up in the Cleveland area. And I know you research, before you take a transfer, I know you go back and really research what type of kid he is, and I know you love Macey Daley.
Yeah, this one was easy because we had recruited him when I was at Illinois.
Okay.
So we knew him fairly well, knew his high school situation really well, high school coach. You know, so that was helpful. So we had a little bit of an advantage there, and knew him and his mom. So that helped. Obviously, Macey's really skilled, got great positional size, can really dribble, pass, and shoot for that size. You don't see that very often for a guy who's 6'6", 6'7". He has some passing ability similar to point guards.
You're right.
He really can see. And I think he'll continue to get better as he gets more games and more experience here under his belt here down the stretch. Been a big part of what we're doing.
6'7" Macey Daley. Let's meet him right now.
What led me to make the decision to leave Iowa and come here and play at Akron was mainly just for opportunity, and I wanted to be closer to home for my final year. Iowa is 3 hours away from Cleveland, Ohio, is where I'm from. I mean, not 3 hours, 8 hours away, sorry. 8 hours away, and being there for 3 years, it was just pretty difficult, like playing in games and like looking at stands and not seeing a family member when like everybody else on the team has family there every game. So for my last year, I just wanted to be around family. One of the biggest takeaways that I take from playing the Big Ten is just my knowledge from the game that I got from head coach Fran McCaffrey. I think they're still #1 in the country on offense this year, but I think he's probably the smartest person I've ever been around basketball-wise, and whenever I was around him, just watching film, just hearing him talk about basketball, I just tried to soak up as much knowledge as I could, and now I'm one of the older guys here, and I just try to relay that same knowledge that I got from him and then tell it to my team here. Honestly, it felt great. Even through the missed shots and the bad games, it just felt great to go out there and run up and down the court just because this is like my first year of college where I'm like an actual focal point of the basketball team where I can impact the game on the court. I watched a lot of film of the first few games to try to find my spots, and Coach Groce always tells me find ways besides shooting where you can be effective on offense and defense, and then your shooting will come to you naturally throughout the game. And I think I just had to understand what he meant by that. And just taking one game at a time, one play at a time, and just trust my abilities. Me and Brian's relationship really hit the ground running. I was his host when he came to visit, and I think we clicked right away. Like last year, we were training in the gym every day, every night. We would watch every away game together because we couldn't travel. We would have like competitive battles in practice. Say on game days, we would play one-on-one every day. And we just built a lot of chemistry. We hung out a lot off the court. We found out we had a lot of things in common, even outside of basketball. I think once you have a lot of things in common with a teammate, I think it's pretty easy, and the chemistry will show on the court. One way I've been really helped leading the younger guys is if I see them make a mistake, or if I see them like not see an action, or say like someone's open on the left side of the floor, but they're like focused on the right side of the floor. I think I'm good at helping the younger guys see their own mistakes and talking them through it and walking them through it. And I watch film with some of them too. And I think just talking them and showing them through their mistakes, instead of just telling them what they did wrong, actually show them what they did wrong and show them how they can improve. I think that's something that I wish I had my freshman and sophomore year, and it's something I'm getting back. Coming out of high school, I honestly didn't appreciate, I guess, being close to home, because coming out of high school, I wanted to get as far away from Ohio as possible, because I'd never really been outside of Ohio. Being in Iowa for 3 years, it definitely made me appreciate like seeing my family's faces, like physically seeing them, hearing them. That was just a big thing. I'm a big family person. My immediate family, I'm very close with them. And just hearing them talk like in person instead of on the phone all the time. Like it was times where I would go like months without seeing them, and then my next time seeing them, I would like feel nervous to see them. I'm like, I should never feel like this to see like my mother or my father or something like that. So I think just being comfortable.
Hope you enjoyed meeting Macey Daley. We're going to take a break, come back from highlights from that big win over Ball State right after this timeout.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at SmileyOne.com.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
Well, the Zips came back home on Saturday for a big game with Ball State. First time we'd seen the Cardinals all season long, Coach. And the one thing that impressed me, and we talked about this after the game, just unbelievable team defense in that first half. I mean, that's 29% shooting by the Cardinals. You forced 11 turnovers, had 6 steals, all in the first half.
Yeah, I thought we were pretty consistent defensively throughout, other than the first few minutes of the game. And, you know, when you get to the point where you get in the locker room and the players at halftime and after the game, the first thing they ask is, what was the DER? Which is the defensive efficiency rating. You know, they bought into that. They know it. They know we've developed a culture of that here, Joe. If you think about it, 2 years ago, we were #1 in the league. You know, last year in overall games, we were 2nd in the league. Going into the Ball State game, we were 2nd in the league. Now, this Ball State game may have helped catapult us even more forward. So it's become guys know it's part of the DNA. When you play for Akron, we defend. And so, you know, that's something we take a lot of pride in, and I got to give the players a lot of credit for that, because they really bought into it.
Well, let's go back to Saturday afternoon. As we said, the Ball State Cardinals in town for a big Mid-American Conference game. The Zips lead early, 7-2. 5 quick points, Coach, by Ali, a deep 3, then a short jumper, and got off to a good start.
Oh, he's playing great. There you see his mid-range up over the top of Ish El-Amin there. He made a 3 to start the game to get us out 3-0. Dawson comes in the game, makes a major impact with his effort, his energy, his shot making. Great pick and roll play there. Jackson to Reese over the top of the defense. There you see a deflection in our defense that gives us a chance to leak out and score in transition. And we really played off our defense against Ball State, Joe.
You mentioned Michael Dawson. He came in had 2 big threes for you in about the first 8 or 9 minutes of the game.
He can shoot the ball. Got great confidence in Mike. As long as he takes good ones, he's going to make them at 40% clip or more. I really believe that long term. So he's got a great stroke. He's very confident right now. We got great play. Just great. There's Mike Wynn making one. That was good to see him make some shots yesterday. I knew that was only a matter of time. But, how about Wynn's passing? He was 5-0 against Eastern. He's now 11 assists, 5 turnovers on the season. Him and Ali, when you play him in that point forward role, can really pass the ball and make guys better. Great luxury for our offense.
Zips went on a 9-0 run, Coach, and that's really when you started to separate from Ball State. You're up 24-13. Then the run goes to 15. You're up 30-13, and really doing anything you want to do really on offense.
Yeah, we started getting in a rhythm a little bit offensively. I thought our pace on offense in the half court was really good. We executed fairly well. Here you see Christian making plays, getting downhill in some ball screen actions. And there we're making the extra pass there in transition before Ball State could get set. Brian makes a 3. We're doing a better job of playing inside out. Reese is getting more touches inside. We're trying to blend that in as well to show some versatility with our offense on top of the normal pick and roll. So we're getting better. Obviously, as you mentioned, we'll get to it here later in the show. Tremendous challenge this upcoming week.
Exactly. I don't know if we have it on the highlights, but you called a timeout late in the first half, Coach, and set up a play that he brought it length of the court with Lauren Christian Jackson, had a ball screen, I think, with Macey, and he cut to the basket for the final 2 of the half. Yeah,
it was a great job of executing by the guys, and Macey did a great job of slipping out of that, creating some confusion, and allowed Christian to get downhill.
Talking about Lauren Christian Jackson, it's the first 2 of the second half, and the Zips continue to roll in a big win over Ball State. The lead going up, I think, 20-32 in that second half.
Yeah, we finally got where we got some distance again, a little bit like the Eastern game, you know, in the second half there. But again, a lot of it was just spearheaded by our defense.
The one thing I like, Coach, with about 3 or 4 minutes left, you brought in really a second group that really, I love to watch them play. Garvin Clark had a couple unbelievable drives to the basket. Hustle play by Jermaine Marshall. They were all doing a lot of good things.
No question. Garvin, Jermaine, Scotty, Trey, Aziz, those guys played some really good minutes at the end. And a lot of those guys are younger guys getting experience for the first time and, certainly makes our future look bright.
Very bright. 11 players scored points against Ball State, and that's good to see. Hey, we're going to take a break, come back with our weekly player awards right after this.
Even if this is the three-point line, and this is the hoop, if this is home ice, and this is sticking the landing, kids will find a way to keep playing the sports they love, and we'll keep helping them. After an injury, Akron Children's is dedicated to getting your child back to the game as quickly and safely as possible, however they play it. Learn more at akronchildrens.org/sports.
I'm here. This isn't a stop on my way somewhere else. This is my way up. This city, this university, Akron is where I learn to outwork and outsmart. To aim high, then raise the bar. Because Zips never settle for less. No entitlement, no excuses, just my education. My future. I'm on the rise, and we are Akron.
Well, each week this time we have our weekly player awards, and our first award goes to Michael Wynn, whose stock is really rising as far as a guy that will be a big part of this program for the next couple years. 6'6" out of Albany, New York, Coach. He's a transfer from Wake Forest. He can shoot the 3. You can post him up inside for a quick 2. He had 8 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds against Eastern Michigan. Came back with 10 points, 2 assists, and a steal against Ball State. Boy, he has really come on, and for a long time, you didn't know if you'd even have him this year.
Yeah, no question. He was granted the waiver there when the NCAA passed that all sit-out transfers were available due to the COVID environment. So he's been a real blessing for us. And you're right, Joe. The last couple games, he started to get more comfortable out there. I think the thing that makes him unique, I mentioned it earlier, is he and Ali at their size can really pass.
Yeah.
Great passers. And so you can facilitate offense through those guys as point forwards, which takes a little pressure off Christian Jackson. So, obviously Mike's really coming on, starting to learn our defense a little bit better, and we're excited about his growth and development.
Yeah, I had the first time to meet him after the game against Ball State, and he's a quality kid, another guy you brought in that really fits into the program.
No, he's intelligent and has started to really grow and get better. And looking for really positive things from him moving forward.
Our player of the week is Ali from Kendallville, Indiana, was a big contributor in wins over Eastern Michigan and Ball State. For the week, he averaged almost 10 points per game, had 5 assists, played excellent defense. And Coach, being from Indiana, I'm sure the adrenaline was flowing against Ball State.
Yeah, no, he was terrific, especially got us off to a great start as we saw there in the clips earlier, but he's really coming on. He is an elite defender.
Yeah.
Because not only can he guard the ball, he off the ball defensively is him and Greg Tribble are 2 best guys. I mean, those guys are unbelievable off the ball defenders, being in the right spot, understanding coverages, extremely intelligent. And then offensively, Ali's really developed his jump shot here in year 2. And so now he's a guy that can dribble, pass, and shoot it. And like I said earlier, we can facilitate some offense through him, which takes some pressure off Christian.
Yeah. You've been in Division I coaching a long time, and I'm sure you see the improvement from a freshman to a sophomore and how they mature and how they become better players. And Ali's a prime example of that.
Prime example. He's made a jump, obviously. I always say that's the biggest jump year. Now, this year's been a little different, which could be good for us because they didn't have a typical offseason with the COVID environment. So we didn't have a spring training camp with the veterans. We didn't have a summer training camp with the veterans and newcomers. So, and no one did. It wasn't just us. So, that part for me is exciting because I keep saying to myself, what type of development will we see from these guys when they get a full offseason?
Yeah,
that gets pretty exciting when you think about it.
Yeah, I was talking to Ali, I think, after the Eastern Michigan game, and I said, it looks like he's grown a little bit. He's up to, about 6'8"? It looks like he's grown an inch or 2 since last year.
Yeah, he has grown an inch. He's a little over 6'8" right now. And again, when you have that positional size and length and you're as intelligent as he is, obviously we've been trying to get him to play with more physicality. I think that'll come as we continue to add more weight. He's already stronger than he was last year, but again, he didn't have spring and summer weightlifting like you'd normally have in between seasons. So I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's just going to continue to get better. And the neat thing about him, Joe, is he loves the game. He's a worker. So we're excited about Ali.
As we said, 2 big road games coming up this week, and they will be tough ones. Tuesday night up at a very good Toledo team that leads the Mid-American Conference right now. Coach, we've seen them once before in a really great game, 95-94 win back on January 16th. But as you mentioned before the show, they are really playing well right now.
Really playing well. What a week, huh? I mean, my gosh, if you're a competitor, you love college basketball like we do, you do, I do, the players do. I mean, what an awesome, awesome week. We're going to take it one day at a time and soak it in and see if we can get better every day and have a great day of practice and get ready to go Tuesday night. But you're right, offensively, Joe, I don't think in my time here, now the first 2 years we'd have to look at what Buffalo's numbers were.
Yeah.
But right now, Toledo's 12th in the nation out of 353 teams in offense.
Wow.
I mean, they are a juggernaut on that end of the floor. The kid Shoemate, their 5-man, had not made a 3 coming into game 1. Since then, he's had a 3 for 3 from 3 and a 5 for 5 from 3 game from the center position.
Wow.
So now that opens up the floor even more. It's going to be a great challenge for our defense, and I'm excited to go out there and compete with our guys against a very well-coached team and a really, really good basketball team.
When you talk about Toledo, the first name that pops up, of course, is Marion Jackson, the kid from up in the Cleveland area. But the guy that impressed me, Coach, is Spencer Littleson. I mean, he's a great on-the-ball defender, great shooter. He is a good player.
He's a really good player. I have so much respect for him because of the way he plays the game. He plays it the right way. He takes good shots. He's an elite shot maker. He really defends. He plays to win. He puts his body in plays. I'm a huge Spencer Littleson fan. But they've got more than even those 2 guys with the way that Shoemate and Akunzo are shooting the ball from the 5 now. Milner, who's a junior college transfer via Cleveland State, has been great for them at the 4 position. And then obviously Marion Jackson. I mean, those 2 guys, Jackson and our Jackson, the last 2 times we've played, I mean, they put on elite offensive performances. So, we expect a major, just a huge battle. It's going to be a great challenge, and we're excited about it.
Coach, you've got about 30 seconds to talk about that big nationally televised game Friday night at Kent State. Anytime Akron and Kent play in any sport, it is electric, and I'm expecting nothing less on Friday night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How about after Toledo,
Yeah.
we get Kent on national television at their place, and they're playing really well right
They
now.
are.
Really well, and they went bigger. They've changed from how they played the first time. They're playing really big guys at 3, 4, and 5. They're huge. They're great on the glass. Rob does a good job. You know, this will be a great week for us from a growth perspective. Excited to coach the guys.
Looking forward to it, Coach. We'll be back next week to talk about those two games, and as always, go Zips.
Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Contributing sponsors include Akron Children's Hospital, Bryant Heating and Cooling, and the Spaghetti Warehouse.